you're too old to play with toys, and you ask them, well, why did you buy me these in 1977 if you don't want me playing with them still? Anyways, there's a solution. If you're all grown up and toys are not for you, here's some enamel pins from Left Coast Graphics. They remind you of those vintage figures of back in the day, and you know what? When nobody's looking, you can pull them off your jacket and go, hey Leia, let's go! And the ships come in these fantastic boxes that you can fold out. And here's the one for Boba Fett's infamous enamel spaceship. This is the pin. It looks fantastic. You could put it on your jacket, but like I said, when nobody's looking, you could fly those ships around. So remember, get your enamel pins with these awesome card backs and these fantastic pins that double as toys, but don't tell your parents. From Left Coast Graphics.
Left Coast is the best coast.
This here is rock vodka, you know what I'm saying? Can I get a Jaya? Yeah. Comes in 4 delicious flavors, you know what I'm saying? Blueberry, Banorch, pomegranate, and apple cinnamon, y'all. Delicious and tight as piss, you know what I'm saying? Can I get a rah? I call for backup. Yeah. 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 Huh? Yeah. Huh? That's right. Huh? Yeah. That's what's up, y'all.
That is what is up, y'all.
Yeah.
Welcome, Super John. Episode 6 of the Acolyte After Show, the most controversial Star Wars yet. It's not coming out of my mouth. That's what all the other people's are saying, you know. The true fans, because we're make-believe fans. So we got a couple of early shout-outs here. Rolando, welcome. He's probably been here since last night.
Mr. B.
Oh, no, that's just today. Mr. B, hello. Good day, Michael.
Michael.
Welcome, guys, to the early start for the after show today. So maybe
Michael was on the model school today.
Oh, and with Rum?
Yeah, doing...
It's 7 a.m. today. I was doing stuff. I don't always do stuff on the weekends. I'm usually there with my coffee and at least participating in the chat. So next time. So I only watched it. I watched it once when it aired, and then I watched it at 1.5 times speed the second time because it wasn't. I didn't get a lot out of it. Like I got a couple of, new questions from this episode 6, and I got I don't know, it wasn't any action. So they spoiled us last week with a 20-minute long lightsaber battle with everyone dying but 2 people kind of thing, and so now this week, we got very little lightsaber action, but we did get some. We got it a couple times at least. What did you think of this episode?
It was all right. I mean, I got a couple questions. I have a theory of what's going on, but if the theory is right, it leaves me with a couple questions I feel bad for the people who are reading the books if this turns out to be right,
Well, see, I know zero, like this many things about the books, the High Republic era. But I know that this Master Zenera or whatever, Green Lady, was in those books, which take place, like 80 years earlier, or however many years earlier than this Acolyte series. And I do have a couple of questions that people who read the books might know or might not know. And that,
well, my question is going forward. See, my question is going forward because it looks to me that we're going to see how she ends up, whether it's good or bad. I mean, can I tell you right now the theory? I think that
you can, yeah.
I think that she's going to end up being the one who trained Khmer.
Yes, that's my
think
theory after this episode as well.
Yeah, and I have a feeling
a Padawan.
I have a feeling that she's
in her life.
I have a feeling that she's going to be like secretly a dark side user, like, or dabbling in it at least. You know what I mean? Like somehow, and everybody who's been reading the books, it hasn't got that far yet. There's still, I think, 2 more books to come out. So if the Acolyte gives away her secret and her ending, I guess you could say, to the story, then doesn't it ruin the next 2 books for the people who've been following along all this time? Like,
no, because I think that part you're wrong about. I don't think she's Sith.
You don't think she's going to have
or-
anything to do with the dark side? Okay.
No, not with the dark side, but a lot to do with the cover up. As we're learning about this episode, definitely whatever happened 14 years ago with Saul or 16 years ago is being covered up. It is covered up. They've hidden it from the High Council. So as we learn in this episode, Master Saul says, okay, I've decided I'm gonna tell the High Council what really happened, kind of thing. So that's something we've been wondering, is what happened. So something happened that Jedi Council never will find out about, as we know, because of what Ki-Adi-Mundi said about the Sith and stuff like that. But the fact that the stranger is definitely, I think, as a Padawan of that Green Master Sinestra chick at some point. That's where I question, okay, what are these circle tattoo dots that these Jedi Masters have in their face where it changes? Like, how does Jedi Trinity have 2, in modern time, in current
time, younger, she has 1.
When she was younger, she had 1. So does that mean that's
how many Padawans? Yeah, maybe.
And then Master Sinestra has like 6 on her head. So is one of those the stranger? Because what's obvious is that scar we will see on his back
was
from the whip. There's a reason why they put that whip. And
but what I was wondering is, does that mean they got in a fight before he left, or does that mean that she was his dark side trainer and she whipped him when he was not learning right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because it's in his back, I don't think it was a fight. I think he was running and got the whip saber in the back and survived, and maybe was saved by whoever his new master, current master is, kind of thing. But I'm going to pull up the slideshow because, some of the slides I got the subtitles, which is what made this episode a little better than 1, 2, and 3, and 4, basically, because it did give some context to some of the questions we have had and gives us a few new questions. And one of the questions is, or one of the things is, okay, why is it? Bear with me, it's showing Mario, part 6. I don't know why part 5 was still there, but episode opens up with more waking up.
Yeah, they wake up again. Yeah.
So the best repeated thing, because it rhymes, is like poetry. So I think 5 out of the 6 episodes, Osha or May are waking up, and it's
both.
They're laying down, and then the camera changes as they sit up, and I think that's pretty cool and pretty neat that they've done it over and over and over. But this is the first time it's with May. You're right; it's not Osha this time. It's May.
But then when you see Osha later, she's waking up also. So they show them both waking up in this.
Yes. It's no one else, only them 2.
Yeah.
Cat, welcome. Orlando asks, "There's books?"
Yeah.
there's comic books and there's word books. There's both.
Yeah. Which I stopped reading. I read the first novel of High Republic, and then I just stopped after that. I wasn't. They were coming out too fast, and there was too much to read. I didn't want to keep up. And the comics, I lost interest in. I didn't know what they were doing or where they were going. I didn't understand. It gives me a
little more excitement and gets me a little more interested in this. I would be interested in going back and reading some of the books and even the comic books.
Yeah.
But as of yet, I'm not interested enough to go and read any of that. Like, I'm really not. I've read so many Star Wars books, and none of them were on the High Republic. It's weird, but it's just, I don't know. I'm not a white and gold robe Jedi guy. Not yet.
Well, what might end up happening with me is I got the comics up to like maybe 6 or 8 months ago, I stopped getting them. So what might end up happening is if I'm really interested in finding out more about Green Girl or some of these characters that did cross over with the books and the comics, I might go back and say, okay, let me fill in those issues that I missed, and I'll actually finish reading the comic series at least. Because the comic series also will come to an end at some point soon.
Does anyone in the chat know? Like, that's why I kind of appreciate having the younger crew in here, because they tend to be more of a fan of those stories that aren't as interesting to us older fans, I believe. But Eric and some of the other younger guys, like I could ask him right now, did Master Sinestro have a Padawan or 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 in those High Republic stories? And he could tell me, because he would know.
Yeah. Well, you learn when you're in the first book. I actually think she is a Padawan to somebody else in the first.
That's
book.
what I'm thinking. It's probably a story that hasn't been explored yet.
Yeah, and
it
goes as the books go on. From my understanding, you watch her age and get older. So, because the books span like 100 years, you know what I mean? During this,
they do. Okay.
So it's not like it's just when she was a Padawan. You actually get to see her grow up and become a master, and then get a Padawan herself, from what I understand. So that's why people like this character coming into the show, because if they've been reading the books all along, they got to follow essentially her story through all the books. There's other character stories going on through all the books. Which
people are you talking about that like that character? Because I've not met one of them yet.
Well, like the guys on Star Wars Explained, that
okay. There are some people?
Yeah.
Because I don't like her in the show.
No, a lot of people, even guys who liked her in the books, are saying the actress doesn't play her the same as they expected from the book.
The character's hiding something, obviously, but I think it's. I think it's evil. There's something bad that happened, and because she hid it, I don't know if she participated or not. Maybe we'll find out in a future flashback whether she actually did participate in the destruction of those. Witch beings and the people on that planet, kind of thing. The moms, all the moms out there. So this scene again with the wake up, May waking up in this pretty cool bachelor Sith pad. I don't think now he force healed her last week, as it made it look like he waved did a magic wavy hand thing, and she's not healed obviously because she's got a bandage with blood on it. So I guess he doesn't know force healy magic hand stuff. What do you think about that?
But wait, is this
is May waking up and then seeing that she's got a wound, so that means that the stranger did not repair it last week that we thought she did, or I thought she did. He kind of waved his hand over it like made it look like he was doing the force heal, but
yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Greetings, Marcel. How are you doing, sir? Yeah, so
May stole OSHA's clothes, so May would be wearing the white. This is OSHA waking up.
No, that white is a bandage, like it's.
No. Remember, she put OSHA's white suit on. Remember?
Yeah, but do you remember when a stranger found OSHA? He lifted up her shirt and saw like a puncture wound in her hip. Yeah. And it looked like he forced.
But I thought earlier you said this was May waking up. This is OSHA waking up.
No, it's OSHA's. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're both. It's. I thought it was May. We see May wake up later on the ship.
Yeah.
So we see his, bedside table stuff. So whether that's his Sith shampoo and Sith, facial aloe vera lotion.
Yeah.
Or if that's like the bandages and medicine he used to help Oshi. But I wonder if this lantern is a Coleman brand and we can go buy it at, Canadian Tire Depot. It's pretty cool. Looks like there's a little branded logo right here. So. Acme. But yeah, he's got a wicked looking Sith tub. Which is my next question. Why is he going to the lake to take a bath when he's got a freaking bathtub right here with blankets and pillows and it's pretty swanky for a cave, don't you think?
Because I think, it is pretty neat for a cave. I mean, he's even got heater pipes going in. to add
Like-
heat and bubbles.
Well, it's paved with steps and seats.
Yeah. No, I think it was that whole thing with outdoors in the water was just to basically entice OSHA, right? Or whatever. Because
So, what do you think the reason is?
He wanted to look as vulnerable as possible.
Yeah, I get that
draw
too.
her out, right? Yeah.
What do you think the reason is that they're withholding this planet's name from us? Because that would spoil
I think it's
the whole Star Wars.
Because I think it's Octo. Yeah.
Well, if it was Octo, they would tell us.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's another reason why they're not telling us, because it would be like a planet that gives something away. I don't think Octo would give anything away. They've confirmed it's not that Skeller's Island where Luke was. I know that's the real name. Whatever that planet was called with the Porgs.
Oh, that was Octo. Okay, so
I think they've confirmed it's not that.
not
That's
Octo.
what they've
Okay,
said.
yeah, then yeah, okay.
But I wonder if this is a certain Sith's planet, and they're kind of keeping it a secret for now. But we get a little glimpse of whatever ship he's flying. We haven't really seen that yet.
To me, it almost looks like an earlier version of Darth Maul's ship.
Maybe, yeah.
But what I thought was funny is later on he comments, "You better get swimming if you're going to try to get out there and get the ship." And it's like, do you see how the islands, like the little rocks, like point all the way to the shore?
Yeah,
like,
you can almost get across there now.
You only have to swim about 10 feet, and then you can walk on those rocks.
But later, when he says that, the waves are like 10 feet high, like it's like a treacherous thing, and so it's too late now. She would have to go first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I guess, whatever. But
Sith skincare, that's what it's all about. He does have pretty good skin, though. I'll give him that. What's going on, Dino? So I know StarWars.com gave an official name for these cool little creatures, but we got to give them our own name, John.
Oh.
So are they?
They're Pengos.
Cutafants?
No, they're Pengos. Pengos.
Because they're kind of like disguised as rocks. Because we notice when Oshi walks by, they kind of stop moving. Like, she won't notice us if we don't move. So I think these guys are pretty cool. I like that they're not CGI and they're actually someone built these little puppets.
No, it's okay. Thanks.
Well, yeah, we got cool new creatures, you know.
Okay, thanks.
Master Saul is trying his eye chat again, get back to the Jedi base.
Yeah.
His message kind of gets through as we find out. He's basically saying my whole team is dead. So they're all dead but me. So some information is getting back to the Jedi base, but still not, to the High Council. For whatever reason, stuff is withheld from the High Council. So while Master Saul is doing his eye chat, Sniffer Beaver guy here, he's trying to find a charger for Pip.
Yeah.
Neat how he discovers it. He sees a little diagram on the wall and he's trying all the different spots out. I like this creature. He's pretty cool. And we see he's ferocious a little later on too. So yes, I 100% believe this scar is from Sinestra's whip saber.
Yeah. And maybe even some of the scars around his arms, like he could have grabbed it and it whipped around his arm or something. You know what I mean?
I think that's the overall look of him. I think does come from the original Ren character, who is a muscular guy, sleeveless, but it's almost like tattoos, but just maybe the tattoos were done by a bunch of blind people. They weren't really making any sense of what they were doing. But yeah, the scar on his back, if it's not from Master Sinestra's whip saber, I will eat this Hammerhead action figure.
I will eat Hammerhead.
We can always go back and I can edit that part out. No one will ever call me out on that. Welcome, Smirking Bear and Dino. So yeah, does anyone think that is not from the whip saber? Which I don't know that's got an official name yet. Like that's a special type of lightsaber. Like they gotta have special names as opposed to like Kylo Ren's lightsaber, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Like, I think they need better names than what they got. But yeah, so I was almost at the point where, okay, if this guy's Sith ass, I'm done. I'm totally done. I'll quit Star Wars. I'll eat all my hammerheads. But they didn't. So thank you, Leslie, for not showing, a guy's ass. Like, we can see, if you want to see ass and cock, go watch Game of Thrones. That latest episode, apparently you can see a little bit of dragon cock and balls or twigs and berries, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, keep that out of Star Wars for now. Children are supposed to be watching this. As
Smirking says they're called light whips, not lightsabers.
Light whip?
They're not lightsabers, they're light whips.
I guess. So she follows him to his little private bath, as he obviously he knows that she's being followed. And she grabs his saber, and he notices, wow, a good stance you have, right? Because as we know, she used to be a Jedi. And that's all we got out of that scene. She follows him to the bath. He's kind of like seducing her a little bit because he's like, oh, if you're not going to join me in the water, at least get out and put my clothes on.
Here we go. Sorry.
What'd you get? Oh, that's your shopping. So Master Saul is admitting to who he thinks is Osha. It's time for me to face the High Council. Got some splaining to do.
Hey, yeah, of course. All right, we got about 30 minutes.
Okay, we should be good. So yeah, Saul's explaining he's gonna have to tell, the Yoda level of Jedi's was what happened, 15 years ago. But he thinks we're led to believe he still thinks this is Osha, right?
Yeah, well, at this moment, yeah, I think he does figure it out, but I think he figures it out because of the pip droid, right?
Or the sniffer beaver guy said something to him.
Yeah.
Because he just happened to show up right behind him when he gave her a zap of the Jedi stun gun. So Osha is speaking to the stranger, oh, you speak as if you were a Jedi. And he says, I was. Yeah. So that's where we learn he was a Jedi a long time ago. So that fits, again, with Master Sinestra, who we know is an older character. She's not like a human race. She's like 40 years old. She's hundreds of years old, I guess. I don't know.
She's at least 100. Yeah, she's at least 100 years old. Yeah.
So that means he is too. He's because a very long time ago. Like that means before Osha and May. Like
I mean,
he looks like he's 20 years old.
The thing is though, when I was 25, I considered 10 years old a long, long time ago. It's only as I've gotten older that I've been like, well, now that I'm older, I can put that stuff into context more. But he did when I was 25, I did tell people, yeah, I used to do that, but that was a long time ago,
So he did say that. He did say, oh, that was a long time ago. And she's like, oh, I don't know your name. What? And he's like, no, a really long time ago. So he's like expanding on that. No, there's no way you would heard of me because it's, before your time kind of thing. So I wonder, one of my theories a couple weeks ago was he is a shapeshifter. Like he's not a 20-year-old Filipino man. He's an alien.
One of those, the alien like in the prequels that change shape?
Well, I don't know if it's in the prequels, but I know from
Bounty Hunter Girl.
Legend, I know from
the Bounty Hunter Girl?
Yeah, that Bounty Hunter Girl, yeah. But she was, again, we don't know how she aged, right?
He looked human and then turned into that alien.
Yeah, no, correct. So, or whatever the Sith creature is that he is, can change his appearance. So I'm just theorizing because we know he's not a human. Because humans don't age that way. Another look at that ship. Kind of got, A-wing fins on the top and then some fangs on the bottom. So, yeah.
I just wondered.
Lego so we can see what it looks like.
I kind of wondered if there were wings underneath that fold out. And it was kind of like a small, like an older version of Darth Maul's ship. Because Darth Maul's ship had a lot of the same
Yeah,
kind of design. You know, it was
Yeah,
more
got a little-
rounded at the back, right?
yeah, it's got a little round belly here.
Yeah.
But maybe a different type of infiltrator. I think that's what Maul's ship was called.
Is that what it's called? The Infiltrator?
Infiltrator.
Yeah.
It looks cool though. I hope we get to see it because I love the ship.
Me too. Yeah, yeah.
And now May is getting attacked by the Sniffer Beaver guy. He figured her out. He figured her out, and Pip figured her out at the same time because Pip gave her a little squirty squirt in the eye, some oil or something.
Yeah, but then she deprogrammed.
And she reprogrammed him to his default settings, just like an iPhone has. Go figure. But yeah, this Beaver guy is pretty cool. He figured her out. And then I kind of thought something was going to happen here. He got her all riled up, fired up, talked about anger and hate and suffering and all the things that Yoda talked about, but in a different way because he's trying to recruit her, not fight her, not push her away. He's sympathetic to a degree, but he's also got some explaining to do as well because I think he knows what happened 16 years ago to her family. And they prolonged this series another episode until Osha and May actually know what happened because I think they both don't know what happened. It got hidden from them both.
You think so? You don't think that May told him and that's how he knows?
No, because I think May is interested in what Saul has to say. Because at the end of the episode, Saul ties her up in bed and is like, okay, now you're going to listen to me. I'm going to tell you what happened. So in a way, because she just fell. All we saw her was just fall from a bridge. So I think that still happened. Whatever the flashback has different scenarios with, Kalnaka and other Jedis getting possessed somehow. But I think where May and Osha are on that bridge and May falls, I think that still happens. I don't think that will change. I think that's still part of the, what happened 16 years ago. So I think maybe May didn't see what happened. We could be wrong, no?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the Jedi killed all those witch people, the girls. Yeah.
It's going to be insane if that's going to be ended up what happened. You know what I mean? Because we don't know the Jedi for doing such a thing. So if that happens, that would suck and it would change. I think it would change how we all feel about Jedis in general. So we get a little more context here. I lost everything, Osha. So again, could he have been part of that Sith witch cult, which was all women? You know what I mean? There was no men or boys there. But if he lost everything too,
maybe he just means that he lost his master and she was his master. Like you're saying, maybe she's not dark side, but she did train Khmer.
Yeah.
And Khmer was going too far into using fear and hatred and anger to power his Jedi training that she basically expelled him.
Which is what he's telling her happened to her, right? He's
that's why he's saying I lost everything because he lost his master, he lost the ability to train enough Jedi, but somehow he learned that he didn't have to let go of the Force. He could keep training using his fear and hatred and stuff, Because it's weird. It's weird. Something's going on with why she's insisting to go. I need to handle this personally. And then later on, she said something what did she say? She's like, something is happening or something is maybe you got it in the text here coming up, but
yeah, I think I know exactly. I think it was the frame right before I did, Vern gets mad at me when I screen grab too many screen grabs. So I think I skipped that one on purpose just for Vern. But yeah, she's not like a disturbance in the Force, but she made a statement similar to that, the reckoning or not.
There's something
so dramatic. She did make a statement something's happening, that we haven't felt in a long time. I like it. That's why I didn't I might have grabbed it and deleted it, but I thought it was just poor English and poor writing. But they were trying to say something but in a silly, hidden kind of bad English way. That, in my opinion, I could be wrong.
No,
but
totally. That's exactly it. Yeah. No,
I think
that's
she explained
exactly
it a little more here in this line, where she says, "I need to handle this personally." So it's personal. Like,
Yeah.
it's not Jedi business anymore, as Anakin used to say. It was Jedi business. This is personal. So that's like something Chuck Norris would say. So yeah, it's making her character a little bit more mysterious. I saw some people clamoring up, "Oh, this must be Sheev Palpatine," and I'm like, yeah, but he was not a Jedi, so it's obviously not
What?
him. His name is Mog. Well, because
Why
he's
would this be Palpatine? That's funny.
because he's British.
Oh.
So I haven't brought this up, but it's come up in a couple of episodes now where things happened 15 minutes ago, or it's going to take 60 minutes, or it should be 5 minutes or so. When did Star Wars start using like units of time like this? Like human clock management. I thought they were like parsecs and sectars and midi-chlorians and like non-English stuff. So I just thought this was weird. But yeah, he's still thinking that this is OSHA. He's like,
remember.
Go fix the ship, because you're a mechanic. So go fix the ship. And she's like, yeah, okay, I could do that. But she kind of does, so she has some skills. And then the Jedi.
Actually, no, that's right from Star Wars. The Death Star is approaching in 20 minutes.
They did use it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It just felt out of place. But so the Jedi sent him a message that we're coming. Don't leave your spot and leave your transporter on. And he's like, nope, do not disturb. So he doesn't want nothing to do with his co-workers. You know what I mean?
It's weird to me that he called them and wanted to say my entire team died. Well, suddenly when I think it's Venestra. I think it's because she's showing up personally that now he's like, oh crap, I don't want to talk to her. Yeah. I want to go. I want to go to the council or something. So he takes off.
It's personal. So do you think that Saul was ever an apprentice to Sinestra? Because we kind of don't know his.
Yeah, I don't know
that way, right? I
have no idea.
Post things like that on StarWars.com and we would know, right? So yeah, the new Jedi team arrives here, and I saw some people point out the last time they visited these creatures, they were playing like real chess, like not hollow
it was like a checkers game almost, yeah.
But it was using the same alien creatures from hollow chess. I saw some people had some good screen grabs of that, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. So there's people already 3D printing and creating this, I guess, hollow chess, but without hollows, so it's just chess.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, so we got some more potential like red shirt, dead Jedi candidates. Yep. But from what we see, I don't think any of them get killed in this episode. So we get some epic Sith helmet welding going on where it still looks black to me with copper solder.
Yeah.
And not copper with copper solder. You know what I mean? Like the toy.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. It definitely looks darker. In any case, it's darker than the toy.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
But now a couple of an official Lucasfilm Star Wars images come out of the character, the Stranger, with and without his helmet. And you can definitely see it's more of a gold copper color from these, official press images. So those are
lighting.
The toy companies are given to make the toys. They don't see the TV show. They're just given still photos from the makers. And so, it does have that copper look. It just, I don't know. It just takes away from all Sith things being black and red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he expresses again here like the power of two, right? So, and then after that, it's the power of Manny. And this guy's name is Manny, which is even cooler.
In real life, his name's Manny?
Yeah. Good Canadian kid.
Gotcha. In here, his name's Kamir.
Where'd you get that scar, she says? oh, someone who threw me away. So like he tells her earlier, like Master Saul kind of threw you away.
Yeah.
So again, comparison.
So
comparing the both of
Vanestra,
them.
yeah. So Vanestra must have expelled him. You're right. So she wouldn't still be training him in the dark arts.
And I think for sure that's what they want us to believe. So
Yeah.
I think it is going to be that way. I think we're right on there. If it's not, we'll be surprised.
Yeah.
If he got that scar not from, and she says, "You're Jedi Master," and he didn't answer. He went on to other stuff and tapped his helmet and confirms the cortosis, the material, and he mentions that it's great for fighting lightsabers, but also a sensor deprivation headpiece like we used as younglings. So I guess that's similar to like Luke Skywalker with his blast shield down, but not as much. So we see the young Jedi in episode 1, 2, and 3 with those helmets on.
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing that's what he's talking about, the sensory deprivation headpiece, because I don't say that word enough. Deprivation. But I could totally live in this cave. But yeah, guaranteed that scar is from this whip. Otherwise,
yeah.
Why even have this character, have this weapon?
They wouldn't have shown the whip. They wouldn't have. Yeah, there's a connection between her and Khmer, and I think she did train him as a Padawan. Yeah. And then she expelled him. Yeah, that must be what's going on.
What's up, G? So yeah, she Ginsu knives one of those big bugs, which is weird because we've seen this in trailer for like 6 months.
Yeah,
and all it is like they added 1 second of bug cutting to the scene, and that's it. But isn't that like 3 feet away from this guy's head?
Oh well, you can be really good with whips,
Well, come on, like this guy he's not even phased.
I've seen people whip a cigarette out of someone's mouth and not hit them in the face.
Yeah, I'm not participating in that challenge, John, ever. Like sword fighting.
Yep.
And only one guy has a sword. Hey, what's up, Chris?
Yeah, we I read the first book, but that's it. I didn't read any others. So
Chris might have read some. Like I wonder, Chris, do you know if Master Sinestra, the Green Lady, ever had a Padawan? And was it a young Filipino boy?
I think Chris may have looked at more of the comics than I did. I don't know. Yeah, they have.
I'm pretty sure if we all Googled it right now, we could find out. But I think you said there's a couple of books left. You mean comic books in a series?
Oh no, there's still like 2 novels.
Okay. So yeah, because you're saying that, I'm thinking that it's pretty accurate that information of who her Padawans were and why those 6 tattoos on her head and this guy 100 years ago who his master was. I think, yes, that's something that's in coordination with those books and a possible. I don't think it'll lead to. I don't think season 2 will go into the backstory of this character much. I think if there is a season 2, which I'm pretty sure there will be, it will continue on, so we get closer to the, Darth Sidious and Sheev Palpatine era, because that's the timeline that would follow, right? It even could be a trilogy of movies. You never know, right? With a young Palpatine being trained, it's interesting and it's a cool timeline, and I'm glad they're in that timeline because there's a lot of story in between they can tell for many years to come. So here's more. Wake up.
So yeah, here you go. So
and she's handcuffed to the table this time.
So wait, here you go. So Vanestra Rho was born in 248 BBY, 248 years before Star Wars.
Yeah.
So if this is 100 years before Star Wars, that means she's 148 in this time.
She was pretty good for 148.
She did have she was a Padawan in the first book to Jedi Master Stellan Gios.
Okay.
And then when she was 15 going on 16, she made the rank of Jedi Knight, and she did her first mission at age 16. Later on, she during the battle with the Nihil, she took on her own Padawan called Imri Kantaros.
Okay, now I wonder if that's Khmer.
And
Is there a picture of him? Is he Filipino?
no, there's no picture of him. And then let's see if there's anything else.
Okay. Yeah, the hyperspace sick thing. I heard people mention that was mentioned before.
Yeah, it said that while she's in hyperspace, she often got sick and saw Jedi visions through her nausea.
Oh, interesting.
So she would get a vision of something while she was nauseous, but only in hyperspace. So for some reason, the hyperspace allowed her to have visions.
So last week's episode, when it ended with Master Saul thinking him and Osha were going to leave that planet, and he's going to break down and tell her everything that happened. Right? So we're left to wait a week. Oh, finally he's going to tell her what happened. A week goes by. Here's next episode. Still hasn't told her. It's near the end of the episode. Okay, now I'm going to tell you. And, he didn't tell her, of course. So now we got to wait another week. So the stranger expresses to Oshi, oh, you should try it on. You might like it, kind of thing. And she does, and she looks real gimpy. And then we can see, this is what you see through that helmet, John. I don't know if you could even see that in the screen.
Yeah. Just a little slit, that was it. Yeah, nothing.
It's like the width of 3 paper clips.
Yeah.
Not end to end, but stacked. So in Canadian or all world measurements, let's say 4 millimeters. In American measurements, I don't know. This 5 sea hairs.
So she may have had another Padawan named Staros that was a child of the Nihil before she freed them. And
Can the Nihil shape shift?
No, the Nihil were they were all different races. They were all different species. The Nihil was a pirate group, not a race. The Nihil is a group of pirates, and they're all different races. There were Sullustan Nihil, there were human Nihil, there were Greedo, what do you call those Nihil? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
So
yeah, the Nihil was an organization, not a race.
So it's like a gang. Okay, it's not.
Yeah, like a gangster organization. But when the planet was destroyed, her former master died, and she assumed that both Kantaros and Staros both perished on that world with her master.
You have all this memorized, or are you reading the
No,
book?
I'm looking at. I looked up her whole story, and then it says that later on she found out that Kantaros was alive because Staros showed up and said, "We need help. We have to go find Kantaros," and Kantaros was captured by the Nihil in the occlusion zone. So Ro knighted Staros as a Jedi Knight before they went to get Kantaros back.
Okay.
So, yeah, could he have been Kantaros and he's upset because she left him for dead? And took Staros as her pupil. You know what I mean?
There's something definitely sinister happened with what
because they leave it
distraction.
open after that.
Yeah.
They're like, they don't tell you if she found Kantaros or if her and Staros actually ended up finding Kantaros. That must be the next book that they haven't come out with yet, so they haven't finished her story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this was said in the first 4 lines of episode 1 too, right? Like Saul training the children. So a lot of things in the show are meant to deceive us, but I think a lot of things are meant to be obvious. Not obvious, but figure this out. If you're a Star Wars fan or not, the shape of that guy's scar on his back, it's not from
looks like a whip. Yeah.
not from a stick or a rock or a regular light.
It looks like a whip.
And it looks like he was running away. So not like a fair fight kind of thing. Anytime you're stabbed in the back, usually you're facing the other way. That's kind of how that works. But yeah, so that was 2 episodes left. So I think we're going to learn what happened and finally see Kelnaka and why all the eyes go black and they attack each other on that planet, and what really happened at the witch's location, May and Osha's moms, all those moms, like, they don't look like fighters, but they did have some kind of weaponry with those, electric bow and arrows or whatever sticks and stabs they had. They obviously had some people that worked like security kind of people, and the mothers were training.
It looked like the same weapons that the Night Sisters had, but
yeah, so it wasn't
necessarily mean they were Night Sisters, though, I guess. Yeah,
and the mothers were training Osha and May, to use their pushy push powers, and other older sisters or mothers. She was training them how to do the force push and fight force push. So I'm assuming all of them had some kind of fighting force powers, being they're from this witches club. So they should have been able to put up a decent fight. So I'm really interested to see what happened, whether it was spaceships flying by, shooting lasers down. Like, does Boba Fett show up? Like, I know nothing silly like that happens, but are we going to be introduced to the Sith Master or whatever evil the Jedis are up to? They better answer at least what happened 16 years ago. If episode 8 comes by, they don't show Kamir's true identity or who his master is, and they don't tell us what happened 16 years ago, then I quit again. They have to answer those 2 things. It's all I really care about.
Well, I really wonder if we kind of agree that Vernestra was probably his teacher when he was a Jedi, when he was a Padawan, and for whatever reason he must have expelled him, and maybe they got into a fight when he got expelled, and that's how he got the whip mark in the back.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
And she could have just left him for dead, similar to the way Obi-Wan left Vader for dead. You know what I mean? But he didn't die. Like, for all we know, a Sith Master could have come along and helped heal him and pull him out of the whatever from being dead, and then he could have killed that Master after he got strong enough, and now he's like, I need an apprentice,
Yeah, I thought that too, but I think how the rule of 2 works is he won't kill his master until he has an official apprentice.
So you think there is another Sith out there somewhere, right?
Well, I think for sure, and what I showed last week on that actor from the Arrowverse being in this cast in this show, and he hasn't showed up yet.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Yeah,
wearing makeup as Martian Manhunter. I guarantee you, he is whatever alien's Sith Master of Kamir. I guarantee it, and then he'll show up in the final 1 minute of the last episode.
Because you're right, he is in the cast, but he hasn't shown up. You're absolutely right. I didn't think about that.
Like, it hasn't been officially announced yet, but I know, stuff gets revealed like that all the time. When they see people on set, and like even what's going on now with James Gunn's Superman movie. Yeah. Every day I'm seeing pictures of Superman hugging children and the new Green Lantern and Hawk Girl and all these characters and people. I'm like, will there be nothing that will be a surprise in this movie? Like Peacemaker is on set in full costume, but then again, the same kind of shit happens with all the Star Wars movies and shows being made.
That's what I think is funny about
filming them from their patios or from drones, and so we did get to see pictures of Kelnaka sitting in the grass fields in England or wherever they made those scenes. So we know certain things. We just don't know all the silly questions like who's his master and why does he have a scar and did she do it and why but I haven't lost interest in the show. Like that one episode I just thought was really lame, and it probably would have been better if it was attached to the next episode or even the previous episode. Just make it, instead of that 2-episode premiere, make it a 2-episode, second episode or third episode. It would have made, I think, that more enjoyable, because that was a real bummer of an episode. But yeah, just Saul.
Wouldn't if Saul? Yeah, and that brings up like, well, what if we're wrong and it wasn't Vernestra, but it was Saul that trained him?
I don't think Saul's 100 years old though. I just
wouldn't
somehow
Saul remember him then? You know what I mean? Like,
well, he did say he remembered him in a way, but I think that's just from the drugstore.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
They're just putting some funny stuff in the episode, I thought. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Western time to watch that, and we'll keep you in the know. We'll probably try and do this again next Thursday evening as opposed to waiting until the Saturday. I know Saturday we get a little different crowd in, but I like to keep it a little closer to the episode as well. So
yeah,
not everything is not spoiled, but everyone's not tired out from watching other people's Acolyte discussion shows, and it's fun for me. I enjoy doing it. It's the one time I get to, go live with some guests right now and talk current Star Wars. We've seen a new Lego set leaked from the other Star Wars show that hasn't come out yet. What the hell is that one called? Skeleton Crew.
Lost Skeletons or something. Yeah.
Skeleton Crew. We see this ship. It looks like a badass ship with all the children and then the little Max Rebo looking creature guy. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, we know nothing about that. There is a handy cam of a trailer that was played at a convention or something, and it doesn't show much, but it's like from a potato phone from a mile away, and it's really hard to see those things.
Potato phone.
Hey, what's going on, Brian?
Yeah.
Any more theories?
No, I just feel like that girl, the green girl, is hiding. Like, I can't remember the line that she said, but she said something like, something is occurring or something has happened that was not part of the plan. You know what I mean? Like it almost sounds like, I mean, I don't think she said the plan, but she said like, something has occurred that needs my attention or something like that. That made it sound like she knows that Kamir was there and she has to go and personally take care of this because it's her problem. Like, she caused this to happen.
Yeah,
or
she said when it's personal.
Yeah.
And when she asked, I'm assuming that tall English guy might have been her Padawan, but maybe just a fellow, master or a Jedi.
Yeah.
Wearing the same clothes, and it seemed like he had a little bit of power, but it also seemed like he was under her. Like, she seems to be the most powerful at this B Jedi level. Not the council, the basement council, which I'm calling
basement council. Yeah.
But she also mentioned that how did she say it? She said that the guy was saying to her on the planet, they were on the planet, and she's like, what do you think happened here? Looking at the dead bodies, and he's like, oh, one person using a different very odd fighting style and stuff like that. So they're pretty freaking intelligent to figure that out from dead Jackie and dead Yord, with his head all turned. Like, so by looking down, could they see, oh, Yord's neck is broken, his face is facing his asshole. Jackie has multiple puncture wounds throughout her whole torso. Like, so without even rolling over any bodies. And the other question is, did they pick up all those lightsabers?
Because, well, I thought it was weird that they did, number one, they would just leave all the bodies too. I'm like,
he was very Weasley looking. Oh, she did mention we'll send someone back to get these bodies or something.
Okay, yeah, is that it? Yeah. So they'll pick up the lightsabers when they pick up the bodies. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's weird. Even when the Sith left, he didn't pick up any lightsabers. And I'm pretty sure when May left in disguise, she had taken Jedi Master Saul's lightsaber because she stunned him. And I don't remember her giving it back to him. We saw Osha go in the bag and take a little dagger that was her sister's, and then later grab the lightsaber. So at this point, both Osha and May have lightsabers. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
you might be
very
right.
Weasley looking.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't remember if Saul got his saber back or not. Yeah,
but she's all handcuffed now, so it's over for her. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got a good hour talking about a 30-minute show. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I got to run over there now. It's right at the top of the hour.
This after show should get just as many views as Disney Plus and any of their Star Wars programs.
We have a wood shop at our clubhouse here, and I got them making me a display. And the guy called. That's what the phone call was in the middle.
Yeah,
He's saying it's fun. And I got to go pick it up.
Yeah, I guess so. I just remember seeing her picking it up, and then she went to the cockpit and she had a knife. So why would she use the knife to try and kill Saul if she had a lightsaber? Good point, Chris.
Yeah.
And I want to thank I've doubled my listenership on the After Show podcast. It went from 3 listeners weekly to 7.
Ooh.
So thanks if that's Vern listening twice, and a couple of new listeners. Awesome, man. Podcast was fine. I enjoyed doing this, John. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
We'll see everybody next week. Thanks everyone in the chat for hanging out for a bit.
Yeah. See you next week.
And we'll see everyone next week.
And Jeopardy's coming back.
Christmas in July. New Jeopardy episodes. Let's do it.
Yep.
Happy weekend, everyone.
Check the channel. Bye, guys.
Left coast is the best coast.
Fuck is that? Something's fucking with my pockets. Fuck, you can smell him. It's a Sam Squams. He's a gassy son of a whore, dude. Should just get out of here. Fuck. Holy shit. Sam Squams fur. Cocksucker was probably sucking right on the tab. Alright, fuck. Look at that. He's a fucking 8 to 10 footer. He's an 8 to 10 footer. We gotta go. We gotta get the fuck out of here.